All right. Happy Wednesday, everyone. Happy first of the year, 2023. I don't know about you guys. I feel like the general theme that I heard from people over the last 4, 5, 6, 7 days when they say, how was your holiday? Great. How was your holiday? Everybody seems to say peaceful, like quiet, calm. I don't know about you guys, but that's how I feel this holiday season was. It was peaceful. It was quiet. It was calm. But I tell you what, there has been a shift in energy this week. And that calm, relaxed, peaceful, restful time that we needed is now already into hyperdrive, right? And we are excited about 2023 and what's to come and what we're going to create and plan. And so that's what I wanted to do tonight, is to talk about creating, planning, goal setting, making sure that you are achieving your best you in 2023. And so we'll start that with a blank sheet of paper, right? And we're going to talk about our goals, and we're going to talk about, and I'm sure many of you on here have your goals written down, right? You do that. But I want to talk to you guys a little bit, if in case you don't, some of the importances in them and how to be maybe a little bit more specific and or creative and or effective in the goal writing process. Now, there's a lot out there on goal writing, so I'm not going to get into all that, obviously. But the main thing is I want you to maybe take a page of, I want you to have several pages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 pages, okay? And at the top of the first page, I want you to put self. Yourself, like me, my name. What are my personal goals for me personally in my self-care of myself? My self-love, my self-respect, my self-worth, my self-esteem, all those self-words. For me, it's just self-care. Self-care, massages, reflexology, acupuncture, cleanses, detox, meditation, all the things, right, that we do to take care of ourselves so that we have that ability to then take care of others. Because if we're not taking care of ourselves, that's why I'm saying this is number one. If we're not taking care of our own needs, how can we really effectively take care of others? Or are we just running around with a chicken with our head cut off trying to get it all done? So you have to have some time to get off the train at least once a week. I had a wise man tell me that years ago. He said, Stacey, you can run as hard as you want, and I want you to, but I need you to get off the train for 1 hour every single week. That's it. And I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I've been doing it ever since. And that's been, I don't know, 12, 13 years. So think about what is something you're going to do for yourself in this category every single day and every single week. So what are some small things you can do to honor yourself daily? Is it grounding? Is it prayer time, meditation? Is it your personal development? You're reading, you're listening to audios. What is something you can do every single day to love yourself, honor yourself, nurture yourself, and fill your own cup? And there may be things that I didn't say that you do or know, I don't know. And if you have some suggestions on that, please type them in the chat. Some suggestions on how you can honor yourself on a daily basis, giving yourself a little time, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to fill your own cup, 30 minutes, an hour. Laura and I sat in the sauna yesterday, and she's like, okay, listen to this meditation. I want to talk to you afterwards. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to the sauna. This is perfect time. I can't breathe because it's 140 degrees in here, but let me do some deep breathing. That was energizing. So anyways, and we had a conversation afterwards, and so what are you doing to honor yourself every day? All right. Those are the things that are going to go on this list. And you don't have to fill this all out tonight. I just want to kind of get your brain thinking, right? Then the next category I want you to put down is giving. What are your goals for giving? What are your plans for giving? Maybe on a daily basis, maybe on a weekly basis, maybe monthly, but I mean something as simple as buying someone a cup of coffee in line behind you, or, giving compliments to random strangers in the grocery store. Those are little bitty things that you can give that mean a lot to people. So what else can you do to give on a daily basis or a weekly basis? And of course, tithing, if you give to your church, that's perfectly fine. But I want you to think of ways outside of that, because that's something typically most people are aware of or do. Well, how else can you give in your community? Can you donate your time? Can you go to a shelter maybe once a month, serve them food? What can you do? Find an area group home, whether it's a senior living or whether it's even child, right? Foster care, orphanage, or even, like we do the Boys and Girls Club. Like, what can you do on a consistent basis to where you're like, this is in my calendar? I said to Brent yesterday, I said, when are we going to the Boys and Girls Club this month to do pizza? Because we're booked. We've only got this little short time, either this Thursday or Friday. And he texted him instantly, put it in the calendar. It's in the calendar. It's done. That's the day we're going to do it. So what can you do on a daily basis, on a weekly basis, and on a monthly basis to give to others? And again, it doesn't have to be monetary. It can be your time. It can be your compliments to people. It can be your helpfulness to others. I had somebody say here recently, the guy that cuts Brent's hair, the lady in the condo unit where his mom and dad live, he went there to cut somebody's hair. He was leaving. Somebody needed help unloading their groceries. He helped her unload the groceries, something like that. That's a kind gesture, right? That's your giving. All right, next page. I want you to look at relationships. I want you to look at relationships in your personal, immediate family. Think of your spouse or your significant other. Think of your children, your parents, your grandparents, great-grandparents, if any of you have them. Think of the people in your life that are your friends, your coworkers, all the different types of relationships that you have. And I want you to, and maybe even jot all those different types down. What would you like to see in a relationship with your parents? What would you like to see in a relationship with your spouse or with your child? What could you do on a daily basis or a weekly basis or even monthly, right? Depending, maybe some people are not local. Obviously, a text is a second away. But what can we do to help to grow and foster those relationships in a beneficial way? Where would you like to see them go? And maybe you have people in your life, family, and people you need to cut out. Let's be honest. Part of this is about boundaries and boundaries when it comes to yourself. Like, look, this is my time. The phone will wait. The email will wait, right? And when you're committing your time to other people, if you're out doing something, then that is what you're focused your time on. So it's boundaries within that. And so maybe there's boundaries you need to set, healthy boundaries with family or friends or coworkers that you don't want to interact with in certain ways anymore. And there's nothing wrong with that if it's a toxic situation, right? And maybe something as simple as, here's a great practice. Say you have a coworker and they're adult bullying you. Maybe they're always, always at you, and you just feel less than, or you feel not as worthy or insignificant, or maybe you just butt heads. Your personalities are like this. I don't know what the situation is. I suggest you write all of that down. Write it all down, every single ounce of it. And then take that piece of paper that you wrote all the things down that bothered you about this person, and take it outside and actually burn it, like light it on fire in the grass, right? And then come back in and write in your goal list or your journal or whatever it may be, the type of relationship you would like with them. Or maybe there's no relationship. Maybe you would like clean slate, no longer in my life, goodbye, door shut, good riddance. Or maybe there's something you would like to see in that relationship, and you could focus on that and find maybe something that you could be grateful for about that person or that situation, okay? So think about that in your relationships. But again, boundaries are okay. We came into life with certain people. It doesn't mean we have to be bound by those people for the rest of our lives. If it's toxic and not beneficial for us, we have the right to say, I need my space. And that's okay. Okay. Then I want you to have another page that's family. Now, family can be part of the relationships. I get that. But then I want you to think about, what are things you want to do with your family? What are places you want to go with your family? What are some things you want to experience with your family? So a little bit different than relationships. I know family can fall into that, but I want you to really just focus a page on family. You know, what are some trips you want to take? What are some games you want to play? Like yesterday, I was like, Trey, let's go play chess, buddy. Let's just spend the next half hour. We don't have our phones. Let's just play some chess. Of course, he smoked me every time. Like, he knows all the tricks, all of them. And I'm like, yeah, I got nothing. I'm playing checkers here basically, and it's not working. So I don't know the names. I think I know the names of all of them. And I think I do know how some of them work, but not like he does. He watches all the videos and he's played all the online stuff. So whatever it is. But what are some goals you want to accomplish with your family? Because I think it's important that we remember they're here today. We pray to God they're here tomorrow, but it could not be that situation. And so we want to make sure we're focused on that as part of our goals for 2023. I love it, Richard. Maybe we'll have your 8-year-old grandson play my son online, because my son's always playing chess online. I love it. All right, your next category I want you to write is health. The next page is your health. Your personal health. What are your personal health goals? You know, we kicked off the year I did anyways, with of course, in the Light Your Way to Wellness page, talking about pH and talking about detoxing and alkalizing your body. And on my personal page, I'm talking about parasites. That one poor site, Mountain Valley, sold them out of their parasite cleanse by noon. People were going, what's another alternative? This one's sold out. And I'm like, here, go to this other website and get it, or get this other parasite cleanse. So what are you doing for your personal health in 2023? And I want you to think about what your goal is for the next, year, obviously, but what's your goal this month? What's your goal in the next 90 days? What do you want to accomplish? Is there an issue, like an ailment, a disease or disorder or something going on with your body that you would like to get to the root of? Obviously, we happen to have this amazing technology with LifeWave that we can utilize to do that. But we know that is a tool, as you've heard David say a million times, that is a tool that we utilize along with proper nutrition. So with my health, do I need to cut out sugar, dairy, and gluten? I highly recommend everybody cut those out right now, right? If you're looking at longevity, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Everybody out there is talking about it because of the implications in the body. So what can you do with your health to improve the quality of your health so that you are here for the 200 plus years that David says will be allowed to live on this planet with the LifeWave technology? What are you going to do right now today? Is it make one change in your exercise routine? Is it start an exercise routine? Is it go to a class, join a gym? I know some people are saying Gloria was saying it's raining in North Carolina. I can't get outside and go for a walk. I don't blame you. What else can I do? Pop up the YouTube, right? Gloria's up there dancing. What can you do in your exercise routine? What can you do with your breath, your yoga or your breath work, your meditation? That is so important, right? That we take those long, deep breaths for our health. So that's a category. And then the last page I want you to have is your finances. Now, why did I put that last? Well, let's talk about finances, then I'll tell you why I put that last. So with your financial goals, of course, I want you to think about what you want to make this year. What is the dollar amount you would like to bring home this year in maybe all of your streams of income? It doesn't have to be just LifeWave. What would you like to see on your tax return next year? And I want to ask you right now to start keeping track so you have plenty of write-offs. Because if you do anything with this business, you're going to need them, right, April? She's talking to Brent before Christmas going, I need to go buy a vehicle. I need to do something. Oh my God, I need tax write-offs. We're like, our life's a tax write-off. It literally is. Everything we do, everywhere we go, everything we buy is a tax write-off. So be mindful of that right now as you are planning on what you want to earn on a weekly, monthly, and quarterly and yearly basis in your life this year, because you will want to make sure you remember that this business, we have lots and lots of tax write-offs, and the more you make, then you're definitely going to want those so you can keep as much money as possible. And I will also advise you to check with your accountant. I hope to God you all have accountants. We are all adults by now, so most people do, but check with your accountant on an SCorp so you can look at the self-employment tax, being able to save tax money on that 15% self-employment tax. So if you have an SCorp, it doesn't take much to set it up. You can do it online, or your accountant can do it for you in your state, and that'll be able to save you some taxes. You run your checks through that. That's what we always do. And if that's not your wheelhouse, I don't know how to do it. I just have an accountant. I've had an SCorp for 20 years. And so we just check boxes off of everything on our statements every month and mail it to him. And he does all the ins and outs and all that stuff. But I know that an SCorp has saved us a lot of money in taxes over the years. So kind of be thinking about these things with finances. Something else I want you to think about is, how much do I want to save this month, this quarter, this year? How, you don't have to be any income level, Kimberly. You can have an SCorp at any level. So how much do you want to save? How about your IRAs or your UILs? What are your investments that what are you putting some extra money back into that help you with the tax write-off? Like, we max out our IRAs and UILs every single month because it's a tax write-off for us to do that. So what do you have for your future? And even if it's $50 a month, it's something, right? Hopefully it's more than that, but I want you to think about those things. Or maybe you have some type of investment properties, or something that you're doing buckets, right? When I say diversify, do you need insurance? You do not. I don't know what kind of insurance you need. Maybe question that. Some people do have life insurance, health insurance. Tell me what kind. We definitely have life insurance. That's what we use our UILs for. And we have term, of course, and we have whole life. We have many different types of life insurance because they all do different things, and they're all great places to put money, to be able to build money and obviously use that money for other purposes. But we're not getting into that kind of training tonight. I've read too many books over the years, and so is Brent. That's a year-long discussion. But anyway, so think about not just how much I want to make, but also what I'm going to do with what I make. How much am I going to give? How much am I going to donate? How much am I going to set aside for fun? For me, right? How much am I going to spend on myself just for a treat? Maybe lunch with a girlfriend, or a weekend away with, the guys. Brent's taking Trey and some buddies, and they're all going hog hunting from a helicopter next month. I'm like, oh my God, you're going to shoot a hog out of a helicopter. That's going to be fun. Okay.
And we're going to go to Grove Park Inn.
We are going to Omni Grove Park Inn on that weekend and hitting the spa.
April?
That's it. April, we're in. Anybody want to meet us at the Omni Grove Park? That's when Brent's going hog hunting. Okay, so anyway, you guys, Grace is like, yes, Grace. I love it. I love it. Okay, you guys. So think about those different types of categories. Now, why did I say finance for last? I say finance for last because when you look at all these other categories, they all matter in your life, right? They all do. But sometimes we get so wound up and so tight on that money that we forget that our happiness is what creates that money. Our happiness creates the success. That's really a fact. Like, I don't know if you guys ever read Sean Aker. He wrote The Happiness Advantage. He went to Harvard, studied at Harvard, stayed at Harvard for 12 years after, and did massive research on what makes people happy and what makes people successful. And it was never that they were successful and then they were happy. It was they were happy and they became successful because they were loving their life, loving what they're doing. And trust me, not all of these categories are going to be perfect. That just never, why does that never happen? It never happens that every single category is exactly perfect. Well, we're here living on planet Earth and we're experiencing life, and we're not AIs. So we have to, go through the ups and downs of everything. And so what we're going to do is we're going to think about what brings me joy in each of these categories. Does it bring me joy to run 10 miles a day? No, then don't do it. Does it bring me joy to go for a swim in the local YMCA? Sure, then go do that. Does it bring me joy like Leah to row? God, no, I would kill someone if I had to row like that woman, but it brings her so much joy. So I want you to think in each of these categories, where is the joy? Where's the joy in giving? Where's the joy in connecting relationships, connecting and bonding with people? Where's the joy in working on your health? Working on your health shouldn't be a chore. It should be something you're like, okay, I got this. I've learned something new. All right, let's go do this, right? And sometimes it can be overwhelming and daunting, but I want you to find joy in each of these categories because that will create the success in all areas of your life, it will create the financial success as well. Okay. And we know that goals written on paper are more likely to be achieved. If you have it up in your head and you forget about it, because you will, because you only have so much space to remember things, and there's so much coming in, 60,000 bits of information at any given second or day or time, whatever, too much is coming in to remember or to even stay focused on these goals. But when we write them down, and this is just another fact from studies, right? Harvard University, Stanford, Oxford, all of them, they've all done massive studies on goal setting. And they all find that the people that set their goals achieve their goals. Those people that were consistent with them, when you look at the top earners in the world, the top earners, 3% make more than the rest of the world combined because of their ability to write those goals and stay consistent with their activity and their goal setting. It's not something they have to write over and over again every single day. I got to make this happen. It's not like that. You're not writing things on the chalkboard that you did wrong when you were a kid. You're writing down your goals with intention, with heart, with feeling, with connection, and with that knowingness that it's done. I know this is done. And I understand there's two ways I want you to look at this. I want you to reach for the stars. I want you to think of goals that are just crazy, right? Out there. And I also want you to think about being realistic within your scope of what you're doing and what you can do yourself. So if you say, okay, by the end of this year, I'm going to make $10 million. I'm going to have 12 houses all over the world. And right now you live in, your parents' basement and you don't have a pot to piss in, basically. Like, that seems a little far-fetched. So not saying it can't happen, right? You could be whatever, what's his name? I don't know. Some of the Zuckerberg, the Gates and all, who was the other dude, the iPhone guy? Why am I losing his name right now? Anyway, you know what I mean? Where they do this stuff in their basement and they turn around and poof, they're like millionaires overnight. But I'm not, yes, thank you, Steve Jobs. Yes. I'm like, I can see his face. I just can't think of his name. But I want you to think about what are my monthly goals that I'm going to work on, that I'm going to stay committed to in my life on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly basis. Where am I going to be? And how could I achieve that? Right? And you achieve that by staying committed to the activity. Remember that you can write these goals down, but you have to give God something to bless. And that is the consistent activity that you're doing in a joyful way. Being happy while you're working leads to more success. And so if you keep that at top of mind, you will find that you will probably exceed the goals that you have set for yourself. And you may be even closer to those really big, crazy goals. But I want you to think about, okay, so every single one of you on here, this is January, every single one of you on here can be a senior presidential director by the end of the year. Every single person can. April got there in 6 months. It took me a year. It took Laura 18 months to get there. Not quite. Well, how long was it, Laura? 18 months? 17 months?
I think it was 16.
16 months. Okay. So however long it took to get there, everybody can get there this year. So if you want to be an SPD, that's not too far off. That's actually pretty darn realistic with the goals set and the consistent activity that follows it. We know what the activity is. It's just reaching out to people, following up with people, inviting people to the Zooms. We know the secret sauce happens to be in the Zooms, which is what most people don't tend to do because they don't like inviting people to things, right? So it's fine. It is what it is. But you can all get to SPD this year if that is a goal of yours. If your goal is to get to manager by the end of the year, you can do that. If it takes you all year, 52 weeks to sign up 4 people, that's what your goal is. It absolutely is. But I want you to think big, crazy, off the wall, insane, probably super realistic, easy to achieve, honestly. People have done it in no time flat. Where am I at in between those two? where do I see myself? What do I want my organization to look like? Because that's some things you want to have on paper. You want to have on paper the type of organization you want, meaning what type of people do I want to work with? Do I want to work with only people in network marketing? Do I want to work with only doctors and practitioners? Do I want to work with a mix of both? Do I want to work with only females or only males? There was a time in network marketing years ago, not in this company, but years ago when I said, when I moved to Florida, I said, okay, I just want to work with men. I'm just going to go sponsor a bunch of men. I have worked with women and the business has kind of changed and my team, people got kind of younger. And I'm like, I need some people that are like going to be like this. I need to go find some men that want to work this business. And I moved down here and I found some men and I'm like, oh my God, I think you guys are worse than the women. Okay. How do you have this many limiting beliefs and you're a man? I was just shocked. And I was like, okay, never mind. Let me change my goals on that. I want to work with these types of people, men or women. It doesn't matter what their age is. And I got more specific on it. And so then I started to see that in my business. It wasn't about an age, or it wasn't about a sex. It was about the characteristics and qualities. Gloria, remember that tribe we wrote down that day, right? That was earlier this year. The qualities and characteristics of the people that you would like to work with. So make that list of the things that you want to see. Yes, determination, self-motivation, perseverance, organization, follow through. Yes, exactly. The types of things you want to see from people: happy, energetic, excited, resourceful. I think it should be at the top of everybody's list, right? That means people can go and find things themselves and figure it out, right? With a little bit of guidance. And so whatever those things are on your list, whatever they are, because I don't have time to list all of them, I want you to put those in your goal sheet, in your relationships section, the type of people you want to be connected to and working with, because a lot of these people you don't even know who they are yet. And that's, I think, a big thing in the relationship category is being open to meeting new people and making new friends and becoming really good friends with people you didn't even know before. And that's
Stacey,
part of network marketing. Yes.
So, we always talk about dream boards, and some of us have started, maybe you haven't, maybe you have, I don't know. But right before you and I went to the, well, it wasn't right before, it was a couple months before you and I went and saw David for the first time. Mm-hmm. Instead of doing a dream, I did a dream board, but alongside my dream board, I made a dream board of the people I wanted to work with. And I'll tell you, you guys, and then I ended up going to LifeWave. I mean, it's kind of crazy. And I have this up on my bookshelf. I look at it every single day. And I had never made a dream board like this. It was all about what I wanted, what my goals were. But you got to have this. So you can get there. So I don't know, maybe you add that to your experience while you make the dream board. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I love that. Dream boards is on my list here, Laura, to talk about. I love that.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's perfect. But that's exactly what you're talking about. You're making a list, or you're making a dream board of the types of people, the relationships, the connections that you want to have. And obviously look at what's happened since then, right? How many thousands of people you've met since then, and friendships that have now been formed, relationships, people we can't wait to see later this month at the event, right? And that's because, and some we've never even met, but yet we work with on a regular basis. And so that's a really big key component of this is what brings me joy in each category? What brings me happiness in each category? What do I really want to see in these categories in my life? And then again, of course, specifically looking at LifeWave, what do I want to see in my business on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis? What do I want to see happening? And then what are my action steps to accomplish that? Is it events? I know that Richard and Elizabeth have an event coming up. I know that Gloria and I are doing one in March. Laura and I have one next month. We've got lots of things happening. What's happening on your calendar that is making those goals become a reality? because if you don't put them on the calendar, if you don't have them on paper, how is it going to happen, right? We always say your calendar is your boss. And so booking that calendar with Zooms or calls or events is going to be really important to your success, because that's really the boss, is the calendar. And so we want to look at how can I fill that in my time that I will work my business, because you have to have those hours, right? Most of you, a lot of you have other jobs, things that you're doing in your profession. And so you're weaving this in the nooks and crannies. And so you dedicate those times to it. And those are when you work your business, right? Working it in and out of your life. So those are some kind of things that are really key. I really wanted you guys to focus in on goals and spend some time over the next several days, really kind of honing in on those. If nothing else, I'll be honest with you, if you do nothing else from here, except for the little things that you wrote down so far, that's going to make a shift in what's happening in your life. Even just that little bit that you're writing down is going to shift some things for you. If you go on and take it further and actually put some thought and intention and heart and energy into each of these categories, you can see massive shifts happening throughout the course of the coming weeks and months and throughout this year. So with goals, I just want to share with you guys real quickly. I was just going through my notebook at the last year. So this is something I wrote down. I listened to Think and Grow Rich again earlier this year on several different flights. And so one of them was talking about writing what you wanted your business to look like. And so I'm just going to read this to you guys. And this is in Think and Grow Rich. He walks you through how to do this. And I wrote this on August 19th. And I said, by the first day of January 2023, I will have in my possession $1 million that will come to me in various amounts in the interim. In return for this money, I will give efficient service of which I am capable, oh Lord, rendering the fullest possible. My handwriting on a plane was not that great. Quantity and the best possible quality of service in the capacity of salesman of LifeWave Patches /drstacy.com. So remember, this is from Think and Grow Rich. So you're writing in that time frame. This is not coming out of my mouth. Like, you fill in the blanks in what they have, right? This, I believe that I will have this money in my possession. My faith is so strong that I can now see this money before my eyes and I can touch it with my hands. It is now awaiting transfer to me at this time in the proportions that I deliver the service I intend to render in return for it. I'm awaiting a plan by which to accumulate this money, and I will follow that plan when it is received. And so that's an activity that they walk you through in that book. I don't know if you guys know Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill, right? And so that, we'll just say we're good on that. We'll just say we're really good on that. And I didn't even remember that I wrote that until I was going through my notebook looking for some goals that I had written down last year and some things I wanted to accomplish. And I was like, oh, wow, yep. And then I start writing down my plan and what I want things to look like. And that's on the coming pages after it. I'm writing about the types of leaders and things like that. And then I found another one I wanted to share with you guys. It was this that I wrote by May 31st of 2022. I wanted to be a senior presidential director. And let me back up and say, I wanted to be a presidential director by December 31st, 2021. And I wanted $100,000 in team volume because that's what it takes for the month, right? Well, I actually hit that goal on December 4th. So I hit it before the December 31st. I will be honest and say that's probably the fastest I've actually hit a big goal like that before the date I put. Usually I end up crossing them off and moving to the next month, right? That's what I've done in the past. So this one I was like, dang, I hit that one like a whole 4 weeks early. That was great. So I had Laura on there as executive director. I had all the people's names written down, right? Dave, Leah, Alicia, Gayla, Linda, Gary, Melissa, Mary Beth, all these names that were written down at that time and their ranks. So when I'm writing my goals, I'm writing the people that's involved in the goal making that I currently have in my business that I know of, right? That's where that quantum consciousness, that quantum entanglement comes in that I talk about. And then when I put down that I wanted to be senior presidential director, then I wanted that by May 31st. Well, you know what? It didn't happen until June 14th. So I was 2 weeks behind on that one. So I figured, I was 4 weeks early on one, 2 weeks behind on the other. It's not bad. But I had written down again the leaders and the people in my business. And then I put the layered leadership, and I put some qualities and characteristics like heart-centered, intuitive, inspirational, inspired, focused, caring, driven, self-driven, connected, confident, organized, loving, 10 self-sufficient leaders speaking on stage at conference next year, and with a leadership retreat with David. Is that not amazing? I was like, oh, okay, great. Travel with Brent, all kinds of other stuff, family and stuff like that. Dr. Stacy speaking engagement, travel with the kids, all kinds of stuff that I'm writing down in my list of goals. And my goals don't just happen once, they happen throughout my notebooks. That's the way I roll. I literally write goals on pretty much a daily basis, things that I want to accomplish. For example, today I Zoomed with Lillian and with Sunday. With Lillian, what did I do? We charted together. I said, what can I do to help you achieve this? And she goes, spend 10 minutes in meditation, visualize and feel and see me as this is already done. I'm like, girl, that's already done. That's literally already done. Do you need anything logistically? Like, I wanted to Zoom with you. I wanted to Zoom with Sunday today because I wanted to get my energy in on this. I wanted to get my thoughts, my eyes, my vision, my intentions in on this with them. So this is a goal. These are goals that are written down because they are creations, things that we're creating. It's a plan of action. I can see exactly, okay, well, Maria just needs, Nathaniel here, Olivia to get Nathaniel to manager. Okay, great. Let's get that done. And then Maria's got what she needs to go to director. Okay. You know what I mean? This is goal writing. This is goal setting, and this is an action plan. So you know where you're going. So where can you find an organization chart to fill in your intended organization? I don't have any organization charts. My brain works like this, notebooks. I'm definitely notebook kind of person, but sorry, I don't have any. Maybe somebody else had some ideas on ways to organize your stuff, but I just like to have notebooks because there is so much power to the pen. When you write things down, you create them. I mean, I have countless stories of numbers, dollar amounts, business, organizations. I have literally used my journals, gratitude journals. I chart in them. I write my business, my personal, financial, all my goals are written out within my gratitude journals as well, as if they are already done and accomplished. It's how I've created my whole life, is through gratitude. And so just making sure that you are keeping these things top of mind for what you want, right? I'm not going to do it if it doesn't make me happy. If I don't like it, I'm not going to do it. If I'm not interested in it, if it doesn't bring me joy. I mean, obviously there's no, not really. There's not a whole lot of stuff I do that I don't really want to do other than, I guess I do like going to the grocery store sometimes, but sometimes I like just sending Brent too. Picking up the laundry from the cleaners. I don't really care to do that. I like to delegate that stuff, but really there's most things, everything that I do on a daily basis, I do because I enjoy it. I like to do it. I pick my schedule, my life, and I bring that level of joy into the things that I do because I feel like I know that's where we've got to create from, right? We have to create from that joy and that happiness and that excitement and passion for life. So I hope that you can find that in these areas of your life by taking some time to journal and to write and kind of reflect and decide, what do I want for my, not only 2023, but what do I want for the next 5 years, the next 10 years? My mom came down last month before Christmas to spend a couple days with us. And she posted a picture last week. And it was a picture of Trey, my son, taking her in a ride in Brent's Corvette. And she said, I actually crossed something off my bucket list. And I had talked to her years ago about our bucket list, and she didn't have a bucket list. I'm like, Mom, you gotta have a bucket list. Like, look, you're past 60. You're not getting, if you were patching, you'd be getting younger, but she's 70, she's 73, 74, but she doesn't patch. So it's all good. Whatever it is, it is. But I'm saying you got to cross things off your bucket list. And she actually posted, she crossed something off her bucket list. She got in a ride in a Corvette. She's always wanted that her whole life. And so what are those things that you want to cross off your bucket list in the coming years as well, too? because those matter. Those are important, something to look forward to, things that you're excited about, maybe not this year, but maybe in the future, maybe in the coming years. I know Laura's got a daughter getting married, right? That's something to cross off the bucket list. Check. That's done. Big bucket list, right? So I want to wrap up. I just want to tell you a little bit about dream boards. And dream boards, I'm working on mine right now. I love to cut pictures out of magazines, and I love to cut words out of magazines, and I love to find things that I say, yes, I stand for this. This represents me. This is what I want to see in my life, or what I want to experience. These are the places I want to go. These are the types of things I want to surround myself with, or what my purposes are in life. So for me, a dream board, and I love, who was it that said, dream boards, yeah, they really work. I've got all those things years and years ago. I think it was Bob Proctor was talking about that. I can't remember, on one of his old videos, but being able to say, yes, Brent found some dream boards literally from when Trey was not even one yet. He found some in the garage the other day, and we could just check all those things off the list. It was crazy. All the things off the dream board, all those pictures out of magazines, and we've done them every single year for the last 20 years. But why do we do that? Because we're visual people, we're visual learners. And when you have those dream boards, that's a representation. Again, you're putting your energy into something. You're putting your time, you're putting your intention, and you're putting your effort into it. And so, like, Brent loves to write. He likes to write on his dream board. He likes to write things down. He likes to cut out pictures. So he's not like as much a fill the picture anymore. Trey this year decided to write his goals for the year, and then to actually draw pictures of the things that represented his goals. So whatever it looks like for you, I know Gloria and I talked about doing our dream boards in feng shui the other day. If you don't know what feng shui is, don't even attempt that. That's a whole nother topic as well too. I remember teaching that years ago. I'm sure you did too, Gloria. But just taking the time to clip some things out, or to print some things off, or to write some things down to where they are visual in front of you at that, on a daily basis, somewhere you can see it, whether it's on your bathroom mirror or in your closet or in your office, that you're like, you walk by it, subconsciously it's being programmed into your mind. And then you turn around, right? Who was that? The guy from The Secret, Arsoff, I can't remember his last name. Anyways, he turned around and his son found a dream board when they were moving, pulled it out of the box, and it was from years and years ago, before the son was even born. The kid was just like 5. He's like, Daddy, I found your pictures. And he pulled it out, and he was floored. You remember that? You guys remember that from The Secret? He wasn't actually like living in a house like the one on his dream board. He was actually living in the house. Yeah, the house. Yeah, Sunday remembers it. That's what I'm talking about. Those things have happened to us. They've happened to us numerous times. We're like, wow, that really did sit in the garage, or we really did take that vacation. Or like, for example, I saw on his dream board from the other day, from whatever years ago, he wanted to go dirt bike riding in Costa Rica. And I'm like, well, we went to Costa Rica twice in the last 2 years. You haven't been dirt bike riding, but we sure have been there. So he's like, yeah, I'm not in shape to do dirt bike riding now. I'm like, nope, but we ended up in Costa Rica twice, and that wasn't on my radar. It was on his to go dirt bike riding, and there we go. So dream boards are super important. They're super effective as well too. So I wanted to give some time, the last 15 minutes. If you guys have questions, or if you have things you want to add, I know you've been putting stuff in the chat. I've seen some of them, but if you have things you want to add, or comments or tips, things that you've done that have worked well, I would love to hear them. You can unmute yourself if you like, or you can type it in the chat.
Hi. Can I say something?
Yeah, Cindy, go ahead.
I just want to share that all of these secrets and law of vibration, law of attraction came into my life when I prayed, and I was going through the darkest time of my life. And Dr. Joe Dispenza came into my life. And through Dr. Joe Dispenza, all the other teachers, all the other resources, and now, of course, LifeWave came in my life. So I attest to the dream board, vision board, mind movie, script, and life book. It's by another thing that I plan out very detailed. I write out like my future husband scripts, do everything. And I even do a dream vision board from my relationship with my son. from now all the way till he's older. So I wanted to share, if people are not familiar with Dr. Joe Dispenza, he's
Mhm.
amazing. And I know Dr. Stacy loves him and know about him. So anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Joe has been instrumental in my life as well too. When I first watched What the Bleep 20 years ago, I'm sure many of you have seen that. Highly recommend it if you haven't. That's when I first got exposed to him. And so I've been following him and attending his events ever since. And he is absolutely amazing in helping you to realize that you're in charge. You have the ability, right? We just have to sit down, quiet our mind. That's the 10-minute meditation Laura and I were listening to yesterday, was the Dr. Joe Dispenza breathing exercise. And so he's amazing in what he's done over the last 40 plus years. Another one is Tony Robbins, right? He's spent 40 plus years committed to helping people improve their quality of life. Totally different way, completely different, of course. Dr. Joe is the neuroscientist, right? The brain doctor. And I love his data, his facts, everything he's been collecting over the years. Dr. Caroline Leaf is another one, of course, and we could go on and on, right? All the amazing teachers over the years have just been, life-changing, right? And we're all on a journey. We're all in different places in our journey. But obviously we came here together for a reason. I don't think that's by accident. I don't think it's by accident at all. I know, like I said, for myself personally, I have been very focused, especially the last 2 years before LifeWave. So 2 years ago, very focused in the types of people I wanted to surround myself with and the type of environment I wanted to work in. And that came into my life literally Sunday. You'll be excited to hear this. After I attended the Dr. Joe Advanced Follow-Up Workshop back in April of 2021, I left that and found out about LifeWave. It was the end of April, beginning of May. I literally found out about LifeWave just not a week or so after that. So it's all about alignment, absolutely about alignment. And so I believe you're all here for a reason. And whatever that reason is, it's perfect. It's divine. You're on this path. And oh my God, you were there the same time I was. That's crazy. We were there together. That was amazing. That was an amazing, amazing event for sure. No wonder you're in my business, Sunday. I was like, woo, rope me in, these amazing people. Yeah, I love it. So you guys, any other questions, any other comments, anything else you want to add?
Yes, I do, Dr. Stacy.
Sure. Go ahead, Debbie.
Back to the finance page. You said something about set up, and I don't know what the word was. S something.
SCorp, an SCorp.
SCorp. What is that?
So talk to your accountant. An SCorp is a corporation that you own, right? You create this. Like, again, your accountant can create it, or you can go online and do all of that process. I don't know that process. I just had my accountant do it. But when you have that, then your, let's say, LifeWave money, because we are a 1099, your LifeWave money will go into your SCorp. So when I transfer my money from my pay portal, it goes into the bank account for my SCorp. My SCorp has its own name. So let's say you named it, Debbie's SCorp. I don't know. You would transfer your LifeWave money into that SCorp. Then from there, you would pay yourself a reasonable salary, and that is what you would be taxed on. Okay. Versus if it just went into your account, then you're going to be taxed on all of it because you're individual. Well, if you have a corporation, there's a self-employment tax that we all pay, and you can save 15% on that. And so talk to your accountant, because it may not be something for you. It actually is something for every single person that's a 1099. Okay. But maybe, and if you have an accountant that doesn't know about that, maybe you need to find another accountant. Maybe you need to talk to somebody that does. They all know about SCorps, but maybe if they're not familiar with multi-level marketing and write-offs and things like that, some accountants won't focus on that. They won't have anything to do with it. And others are like, yes, bring it on. We love helping people, save money. So,
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Great. What other questions do you guys have? Comments, thoughts?
Hey, Stacy, I have a comment, but it has nothing to do with what we're chatting about right now. So should I wait?
No, it's fine. Go ahead.
All right. So you guys, just a couple housekeeping things. As you've probably seen on our wellness page, Dr. Stacy's been putting together some incredible information. And we've been trying to put it out there. So, and I know you're inviting people to that page. We will not accept them to the page unless they answer the question of who invited them, because that keeps you guys, as all of us, in check of not mass inviting and us just dumping a bunch of people in there that they don't even know why they're in there. Like, we want to bring people to that space and offer them value and really have them go on this journey with us as we go on their journey with them. So if you're inviting people to that page, please do not mass invite. Create a conversation with them, let them know that you're going to add them, and please instruct them to answer the question, because if they don't, we decline them. They're not getting in, okay? The other thing is our millionaires page is for people who have decided to share the product with you, that are going to lock arms and build a business. The millionaires page is not for clients that are just using the product. Okay, we have to make a division there. So if you've added people that are just users, not dealers, can you please get in there and remove them and explain to them why? And they might just turn them right over and go, well, I don't want to leave now. I want to be a dealer. So, and then you take it for wherever it goes from there. But it would just help us keep the pages really clean so information doesn't get lost. And it will make the contacts that you're making have more value, okay, to them. So if you guys could help us out, we're forever so grateful.
Laura, I have a question. With that being said, is it only people in the Lifeway business that you are accepting into the?
No, it's anybody. If you've
wellness
invited
page?
somebody, right? If you've invited somebody and they're not yet a client, but they're in that wellness page,
Mhm.
they are welcome. We just want
Okay.
them to know that they know why they're being added.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, let me
Great
clarify,
question.
because people are asking some questions. So Light Your Way to Wellness, that is a page that I created actually a couple years ago. And I changed the name last year at the beginning of the year. And I used that page to share recipes and smoothie recipes and all kinds of stuff like that before I even found out about LifeWave. And then earlier last year, I decided in January, hey, let's make this page a place for us to bring potential customers and current customers of our LifeWave business and help them in all things health. And so Laura, Lee, and I have spent the last year at least once a day hosting something in regards to health and wellness. Not selling anything, not selling a product. We don't allow other people to post. They can comment, but they can't post. But just educating people over the last year. We have done different things in that page, and which one is going to take place on this Saturday again. But we have done what's called sipping success stories. And we start on a Saturday morning at like 9 o'clock. Grab your favorite early morning drink and join us, and we'll have some people share their personal testimonials. I'm still looking for a few people. Right now, I've got Gloria that's going to share her COVID long hauler testimonial with the patches and other things that she's used in her life to be able to help her get to where she is now. And so we'll have a couple other people on there as well, too, that'll share their personal success story with using the LifeWave technology. So in that page, you can invite your customers currently, you can invite your potential customers, and know that, you know, they're not going to be sold anything, but they are going to be educated on all different types of things, health and wellness. And that's what that page is for. Anybody's welcome in it. If you are not in it, it's called Light Your Way to Wellness. And there is a link in the business page, which is the Millionaire Patching Rockstar page. That was created when we started LifeWave. And so that page is the page that I run, where I share promotions and business and all kinds of, you know, things like that. We do all of our congratulating of people that have promoted to the next rank. And so that page is open to all of you as well, but it's only, like Laura said, for business builders, brand partners. It's not for you to add customers into, because it's only business stuff. We won't be doing anything else in there. Now, if you're on Dr. Mel's team, which some of you are on here, then Dr. Mel's team has her own team page called Quantum Life Waivers. And so if you're in that one, you can definitely be in the Millionaire Patching Rockstar page as well too. Either one. And both of them, I won't say they both have the same content because I run the one that's the Millionaire Patching Rockstar page. So content may not be the exact same. I always do everything in that business page. So any other questions before we hop off here for this evening? Anything else I can help you guys with, or any clarification or anything you want to add?
No.
Okay.
All right, I do. This is Deb. Hi.
Deb.
I have like, is there a way of adding different documents or different parts of videos into the LifeWave app? Because I'm trying to do that because I just too many notebooks, too many this, you know?
Yeah, we can't edit the app. The app's created by corporate, and
Yeah,
they're
but
all the ones.
I thought you could add videos into it though. No?
I've never seen anywhere you can add a video. You add your contacts to it. Have you guys ever seen where you'd add a video? I haven't either. I haven't seen where you can add any content ever.
No.
No.
Well, that would be a good suggestion. All right.
Well, can you imagine now, Deb, let's be honest here. If you've got a global app with
All right.
over 1 billion users or 1 million users, there's no way we could let anybody and everybody edit that content for all of us to use.
No, and I understand that, you know,
Yeah.
but like when you have your own, like your app and then you add in like your contacts,
Yeah.
they're your contacts, they're not shared with anybody else. So
Yeah,
there should be like that side of it. But then
Well-
like, so there's the X49, X39 comparison chart that's in there. Like
Mhm.
it would be cool to have like that chart type of thing for the other products too.
Mhm.
Mm.
Well, we
uploaded
don't
in
have
there.
clinical studies like we do with the X39, 49 in comparison. That was very specific studies that we did comparing the two individually, and then when we put them together. So that's why it looks like that. We don't have studies with other ones where they're individual and put together, except for we do have, and this is a recent thing, we have one with X39, 49, and Eon, comparing what happened with people like with pain with 39 and Eon versus 49 and Eon. But again, that's very recent. I think David's just started to do that. Your website that you have, Deb, which will be brand new later this month, brand new website, will be completely customizable with you being able to upload your own videos onto that and all your content on your own website.
Well, then that answers that, right? Perfect.
So your
So
website
that's
will
the
definitely
thing I
have
like
it.
is, but the thing that I love about it is you can tell that they're looking at the video or they come back, they look at the video again.
Mhm.
You know, that I love. If
Yeah.
there was an algorithm that could make you or help you to find out, yes, you did. Oh, I see you did look at it, you know?
And
Right.
maybe with the app, they may have that coming. I don't know, but they have not said a single word about the app. It's just been focused on the website and being able to modify it to meet our needs, whatever we needed. So, yeah.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you.
Welcome. All right, you guys. So let's get busy making those goals, setting our intentions, creating our futures. If you guys want to share, obviously you can. If you have questions or you want to talk about things, we can definitely do that as well too. We're all here to help you achieve your success, achieve the goals you want to achieve, obviously in your LifeWave business, and obviously in relationships and in health, right? Maybe some of you guys are family, I don't know. But we're definitely here to help you with your goals and being able to achieve those financial goals and personal goals that you want to accomplish. So thank you for being here tonight. I look forward to seeing you guys on the Patching Podcast.